means that hunting season is almost around the corner, especially out here in South Dakota is a big part of it. Anyways, topic on the dot today. Just about wrapped up putting out the video shorts. I'll have the full video for Colonel Robert Howard. Man, dude is a freaking stud. I mean, just reading his Medal of Honor citations and stuff. Oh my gosh, just freaking awesome. I've enjoyed doing this one. You know, I love the Marine Corps and everything like that. But I will say one thing: this dude in the Army, just Mac VOG and all that stuff, just a badass. I mean, you know, I'm like, as I'm reading this citation, because Vietnam's always been a huge fascination of mine. The stuff that he did, it's like every war movie you can think of that had something from Vietnam in, this dude actually did it. You know, whether it be dragging his lieutenant through the jungle, trying to get him to a medevac helicopter, you know, getting the 9 line called out and all that stuff. And it's just, oh man, they don't make him like this guy. I mean, he, you know, taking bullet shot, you know, a bunch of gunshots. Like in his Medal of Honor citation, there's a part where it's talking about how he was administering first aid. You know, enemy combatant took a shot at him. It hit his magazine pouch. A bunch of his ammo actually went off. Luckily, none of it hit him. But if he didn't have that mag pouch there, that bullet probably would have gone right through him and killed him. Oh man, and you know, serving 54 months total in combat in Vietnam. I mean, man, that is a lot of time. That is a lot of time to be out in war, get war fatigue, just exhaustion. You know, those combat deployments, 9 months. 9 months sure sounds like a lot of time, but then I think about 54, and you know, he never went back stateside. He was out there in it. I mean, and technically with those guys, they were doing a lot of stuff that wasn't really supposed to be going on at the time with the Green Berets. I mean, those guys, I love the tiger stripe uniforms. I love how they have all the different guns that aren't your standard issues. Freaking awesome, though. You know, it's really cool to read about other Americans that just done all these acts of valor. Hey, thanks, Sonny. You too, man. Baseball season just about wrapped up. Football starting, dude. So I'm waiting to see your posts. But the Mac VSOG guys, what was cool about it though is, I mean, what the Green Berets do, and a lot of people don't know. I mean, they are commandos, but most of the time they're doing non-conventional warfare. You know, they're out there, they're training. You know, whether it be a civil war in a country, whatever side that we're siding with, we want to win that conflict. They're over there training them, arming them, teaching them tactics. Over in Afghanistan, for instance, you would see a lot of it. You know, there was a lot of, you'd have your Afghanis who were, you know, all about not living under Taliban rule. You'd have the Green Berets, or you'd have MARSOC, the Marine Raiders, doing unconventional warfare out there training. You know, there would be a lot of guys like that, and that's kind of what they're responsible for doing. So that basically they're teaching them to be able to govern themselves and fight for themselves once we leave the area that we're occupying. Unfortunately, we all know how that blunder worked out. But it's, you know, I bet it's very satisfying, you know, being one of these guys. And, you know, I've seen these guys in action and whatnot, how they train these dudes, and it's impressive. And, you know, going out to a foreign country, training foreign soldiers that you don't even speak the same language at, but we all speak the same language of survival, and we all know how to respond to violence. And it's just like, you know, being put out in that area, being able to develop those relationships and trust, hearts and minds and psyops. It's takes a special person, you know, with a specific set of skills. You know, it's not just a grunt like you know, we would go out and do blocking, patrolling, and those types of things. You know, they're over there doing all of this other stuff, which is just way incredible. You know, and that's why it's sad with you know, a few of these guys that we see on the internet talking about their career and their service in the military and whatnot, when they embellish or, you know, talk about being in all these combat scenarios and stuff like that, when it's like, dude, you guys accomplished some of the most difficult training a person could ever go through, for starters. And number two, you were still serving, you were still in some combat situations and things along that line. Why do you have to embellish it, man? Because it's, I don't know, I just have mad respect. MARSOC, for those that don't know, and MARSOC doesn't get spoken about very often. That's what the the Marines, it's our elite unit that was out there, and it was fairly young. I mean, the Raiders have been around forever, and then there's Force Recon, and there's Recon, and then Scout Snipers are folded into Recon now, which falls under that. But it's just foreign fighters, being a teacher. I don't know. I think it's cool. It's like when I take my kids out shooting or hunting or things like that, and I'm teaching them stuff, and then I see them doing it and doing it better than how I taught them. There's that goal of accomplishment there. And so I just have mad respect for all these guys. And like with the Maccabee SOG guys, what's interesting is they weren't even supposed to be there. I mean, they were declared as military advisors under JFK, before he was assassinated. But not supposed to be in Cambodia or Laos. And there's a great book that I'm reading that I've been getting a lot of this information from. It's The Secret War, and it's all about these guys and what they were doing out there in the jungle for years. I mean, just helping plan these coups and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. This stuff's exciting. I'm a huge military nerd, obviously, guys. I love United States military. It's a passion of mine. I love all the guys that serve in it, even though we break balls and Air Force catches a lot of shit from us, and stuff along that line. Although I will say this, as much as the Air Force gets joked about, Air Force, I mean, with how smart everybody is in there, and like you think about these Predator drone planes and everything along that line with warfare, Air Force is way up there. Now, back to another topic that came up, and I've been hearing a lot about it. I don't know if I believe it 100%, but they're supposedly trying to say that there was a red squad from like SEAL Team 6 about 6 years ago, supposedly had some sort of mission where they were planting some sort of bug to record North Korea or some shit like that. It might be possible, very well could be, but my biggest claim of bullshit on that one is, why would they send a military strike team in when all they would have to do is the CIA has contractors all over the place? It's too big of a liability for guys in United States military uniforms to be popping up on a country that we have sanctions with, a country that, everybody knows damn well that we are very concerned about constantly, whether it be World War III and nukes or Taiwan or whatever going on with North Korea. So why would we risk our guys and risk our reputation by having uniformed members of the military go over? And see, that's where I kind of call bullshit on that. Now, could it have possibly happened? Yeah. It's a lot of propaganda and stuff in the news. Fortunately, it's difficult to get accurate information a lot of the time in the United States, especially with the main networks, because it's all become more of an opinion or trying to slam somebody or whatever agenda they're on rather than accurate news. But I don't know. I'm going to read up, try to find out more on that. Again, though, I mean, it involves the Naval Special Warfare and Development Group, and those guys are all quiet professionals. There's been a few that have came out and they talk about, their careers and stuff like that. However, the majority of them are just, they don't want to talk about it. Quite frankly, I wouldn't want to be telling people I was over in North Korea, in a country you're not supposed to be in. And I feel like going public with that type of information, even if it was some sort of operation that they were sent on, is kind of in a sense, because you're being entrusted to go do this act, for the president or whatever the case may be, following orders, and then you're going to turn around and go public with it. Well, some things do need to be kept secret. I think some things, the public, it's great that they do know, and I think there's other operations and things like that people need to just shut the hell up about, because quite frankly, I don't think it's national security type stuff, in my opinion. But, when we're in open warfare, it's one thing. But if they're doing operations and, counter terrorists and things along that line, it's something similar to one of the best tools you'll ever learn trying to win hearts and minds. If you're in whatever the case may be, if you're undercover or if you're in training soldiers or anything along this line. This is a conversation a buddy of mine had with me who was in MARSOC. He was saying that you put out so much disinformation, so when you do ask people, you know who your real friends and alliance people are. Because if you go ask somebody, hey, we're looking for bin Laden, for instance, and we know that he's on a kidney dialysis machine and all this stuff. If you've seen anything or know anything about it, well, he was never on kidney dialysis machine, for starters. This is perfect disinformation. Everybody thought he was, and so you had all these people making up stories and shit, and that's kind of how you find out. I mean, who's who and what, and it's stuff like that. And it's like, you don't show your whole hand when you're playing cards. So in warfare, it's the exact same thing. You go around and you tell people information about somebody that gives them the opportunity to take off. It's similar to a lot of investigations in the United States, where so many people are like, well, I don't understand why they're withholding so much information about this case and all these types of things. Well, it's an active, ongoing investigation. If they lay out that they have evidence and they're on to who's doing it and specific details and whatnot, that person's going to take off. Same thing applies, with the military or counterintelligence, counterterror, and all these types of activities and stuff. It's like, I mean, it's difficult enough for a lot of these guys to get in there, but that's kind of my opinion on that. I'm not the expert there. I would recommend everybody go check facts on your own. As far as guns go, let's see here. I've got hunter safety classes I got to teach because hunting season is just around the corner here. And I'm not going to do any content on those, though. I'll put a link to the websites or whatnot. But, that's going on. Some people wanted me to go over some more just basic rifle type stuff or whatnot. So I've got a few emails there. I'm working on some stuff with the Marine Corps, with 2-7. It's a surprise as to whom. I might have some interviews coming up on here, believe it or not, finally. It's been difficult to get a hold of some people, but hopefully they have the time. And I finally have a little bit of free time now that it's getting colder and free my time and whatnot. Kids are in school. So, but anyways, guys, that's my ramble today. You guys all enjoy your Saturday. I'll be live tomorrow, probably in the morning as always. I'm a morning person. Get up and get going. So you guys take care. Thanks for watching.